Step right in, Mike. Will you give us your name on film as we roll here so we got it?
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is a press conference. The subject is Bobby Seale. We have three principals. Linda Beeson Galley, spokesman for the Blackstone Nation. On my far left, Fred Hampton, chairman of Illinois Black Panther Party. Here, C.T. Vivian, coordinator for the for the Coalition for United Community Action. Here, these are the three principals.
You take the
Step right in.
We're supporting you.
Step right in, Mike. Will you give us your name on film as we roll here so we got it on film?
My name is Fred Hampton.
Wait a minute. You want it up?
Yeah, you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
You ready?
Yeah.
My name is Fred Hampton. While the fascist stormtroops of Warden Nixon's repressive machine single out individuals such as Michael and Johnny Soto, Charles Jackson, 14-year-old boy murdered in cold blood in Argyle Gardens, the outlandish murder of Charles Cox, and the shameless illegal acts of violence directed against our chairman Bobby Seale after he tried only to exercise rights that some of us thought were rights guaranteed to every citizen of the land of the free and the home of the brave. In the midst of all of these acts of overt fascism, the establishment press, those people in the press that make the decisions of what goes in and what goes out, respond as mere apologists and ideological servants of American fascism and international imperialism. If the journalists and pressmen, or those people that make the decisions for the journalists and pressmen, really want to become defenders of independence, how can they watch while Bobby Seale is being chained, gagged, beat about the face and head, kicked in the groins, and denied two basic constitutional rights? First, denied the right of counsel of his own choice in the name of Charles R. Gary. Second, being denied the right to defend himself. While these people that make the decisions about what goes in the media sit back with arms folded. We demand of these people in the press to come out resolutely in protest of the fascistic acts of Judge Adolf Hitler Hoffman. Journalists and newsmen can never remain mere recorders of facts and onlookers in fascist times. Because of this, we demand of responsible members of our up until now apologetic press to wield their mighty pens to right the errors that are being made by these megalomaniac fascists here at home and abroad. We ask that all people denounce these brutal acts being directed against Bobby Seale in specific, and we the people of Babylon in general. And when we say that, we mean that there's a very clear case of systematic genocide attempted to be put on the black community in the form of all of the youth in the community. If there's ever to be eternal peace in our communities, then we've got to fight and struggle relentlessly against these hangmen like Hanrahan, who continually perpetuate violence here at home and act as warmongers abroad. If we're going to stop fascism in America, then we've certainly got to stop that hecatomb down in Chicago. And when we say hecatomb, you look it up in the dictionary to tell you that it's a public sacrifice. It's not a trial, and that's what we call it, hecatomb. Also, I'd like to read the demand that we have in our Black Panther Party paper. It says, we demand that the United States government drop the trumped-up conspiracy charges against the Conspiracy 8, and that Rennie Davis and Dave Dillinger be allowed to return to Hanoi, where they would be met by our Minister of Information, Erich Cleaver, so that the three of them could discuss with the Vietnamese the freeing of Americans now held prisoners of war in exchange for the dropping of all charges against our Minister of Defense, Huey P. Newton, and our chairman and leader of the party, Bobby Seale. This proposed freedom of political prisoners in exchange for prisoners of war could only be ignored by a government that has no concern for its poor, its peace-loving, its non-white, and its soldiers, and even less concern for peace. Also, one other thing is that this Monday we're going to be having a rally demanding in general that the trial be stopped, but in specific that the chairman of the Black Panther Party, who's guilty of opening up free health clinics and guilty of opening up free breakfast programs, be ungagged and unchained. And that would be Monday, November the 3rd at 12 o'clock noon. And we also doing that with the support of the entire coalition and also with the support of all people in the black community that are sensitive to this type of injustice that's being placed upon any black man in the so-called democratic society.
Where is that going to be?
That's going to be at the Federal Building, 12 noon on Monday.
Fred, you normally call for the close of school and...
We all, right. We working on that right now, and we calling a strike on schools and also a strike on work. And those people in the community, we understand that some of them have to work. That have to work, we asking them to wear black, and we asking them to drive with their lights on when they're coming home. Because this whole situation needs to be shown to the world, because it seems to us as if Daley and the leaders of Chicago are trying to set some type of vanguard.
As the coalition, we're concerned about what is happening in that courtroom. We see this as a matter of human dignity. Here is a man who yesterday, when finally he was able to get the gags off his face, said that he was taken into the back room and beaten. A man picked up in a chair, strapped to it, taken into the back room, beaten, gagged, and brought back into a courtroom. This is a matter of human dignity, and such indignities we have not seen in an American courtroom. And we fear that this can be the beginning of a long line of such cases that leads to fascism in America. This is a legal matter, as we see a judge not allowing legal options to a man whose lawyer happens to be ill. If in fact that cannot happen, that he can be there to defend himself, at least this man could speak for himself if he desires that right. Basic human rights are being taken away by the kind of trial that we see. Our concern is for First Amendment rights. We see things like the House Un-American Activities Committee changing its name so they can do its own diabolical acts. We begin to see things like this courtroom case here in Chicago, where the conspiracy, we believe, is a trumped-up charge, that it is a matter of the right forming itself in a way to stop all dissent. And our kind of faith says that dissent is basic to a democracy, is basic to the America that we all see as the land of the free and the real home of the truly brave. This courtroom scene is a symbol to every black man. There are black people in Chicago that cannot sleep at night, literally, because they see themselves as Bobby Seale. They see themselves gagged in a courtroom. This is a symbol to every one of us. Black men in our courts are gagged. Black men in our courts do not feel as though there is any justice. Black men in our courts, whenever case they come, feel that judges do not understand and are without mercy. And we, no black man, could stand aside and watch this happen before us as a picture of the reality of the injustice of the court system against black people and not speak out. We have come to demand an end to the conspiracy trials, but definitely a humane treatment of Bobby Seale, and that justice comes and that the legal options be given him.
My name is Leonard B. Singala. I represent the Black Peace Stone Nation. With the permission of Jeff Ford, I'm here today to let the world know that we stand behind the Black Panther Party and the inhuman treatment being given to Bobby Seale. First, we like to bring it to the attention that this transcends ideology and philosophy. We're putting them in the closet to deal with this here problem in our city. First of all, the man is not being tried by his peers, which is a constitutional law. He's been tried by people that's insensitive to the problems of black people. Therefore, we have resolved to throw all that we got into demonstration of whatever it'll take to wake up the conscience of America to the realization that black people will not be walked on and stepped. As we see Bobby Seale, we see Jeff Ford, we see each and every brother in the black community chained to that chair and gagged. And we want the world to know that over and above all ideologies, first and at last, we are black, and stone power to the people.
I have one question. I take it all of you gentlemen are aware of the fact that Mr. Seal was given the opportunity.
There's
to-
one more statement.
Oh, there is?
Yes, my name is Ricky Reed.
Step forward, Rick.
My name is Ricky Reed,
How you spell your last name?
R-E-E-D, and I'm here to represent the Vicelord Nation, and I would also like to serve notice to the racist and the conservative elements of our government that the Vicelord Nation and other elements of the black society youth are not going to stand by and watch black men be tried in kangaroo court by carpetbagger tactics who want to serve notice to the whole community, the nation, that we're behind any decision that the coalition and the Black Panther Party make.